and I don't know how many people are watching or anything. So, okay, we're live. Maybe somebody will show up. Wouldn't we all visit back and forth until people show up and start saying hello? It never sends out. It doesn't matter how early I set it up. Nobody ever gets the early notifications.
Nope.
So,
right. Cool. Be good.
I don't know why.
I got notification. Apparently, I'm on a live stream. Oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, I get notifications, and other people get notifications, but they get them. I have people that get notifications after they've been in here chatting for 15 and 20 minutes.
Hi, Double A. How you doing?
Who? What? Who?
Hello, I don't see anyone.
Yeah, we got Anonymous in the corner there. Oh, hi, Mrs. Weathers.
See, he's getting. How does the guy over the puddle get the notes first?
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Carol.
Hello, Anonymous American. And
hello, everyone.
My wife and Lance's mama and Carol. The nomination. You running for president?
Hey,
I don't know what you do to that cat, Betty, but you need to quit.
What?
I don't know what you do something to a cat every so often. It goes meow like that.
It's rolling this.
You do that with a cat?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me a new cat.
I make it work. It's gonna be around here. It's gonna be worth something.
Jay Polk for president, yeah. I'm gonna quit trying to do smart talking videos and stuff because, man, my IQ is just not up there with that NASA scientist dude. What's his name? Dad on YouTube. He's a whole lot smarter than he lets on.
Well, you got to be if you work for NASA. You know what I mean? You got to go to university, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's odd to run into an engineer that's actually intelligent. I'm just saying. Most of them think that if you draw it on a napkin, you can make it happen. And that's not true. Ink and paper is completely different than milled aluminum and nuts and bolts and stuff.
Abe, if you download a phone app called Steam Labs, you can live stream off your phone.
Now you can live stream from a. Well, no, they changed the rules. You got to have 1,000 subs to live stream now. Period.
No,
I can live stream off my phone app called Streamlabs. It's a phone app. You go through that and you can live stream off your phone.
Now I have Streamlabs. I've paid for Streamlabs for the whatchamacallit, the computer. Dude, that thing's impossible.
You're on StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard, but I have Streamlabs. And
I've got Streamlabs on my phone, and I can live stream on Facebook, something else, Mimbo, and YouTube.
It's got to be the most complicated.
Yeah, it's a little finicky. It's a little finicky to begin with, but on YouTube there are some tutorials that I've watched. Abe, I am not plugging for a sub yet. I don't do that, and anyone in the community will tell you that I'm not a panhandler. If you go to my videos, go to Abe Makes a Stove, and that is actually a Streamlab live stream that I did up your phone about 3 weeks ago.
I'm thinking about getting me a kayak. Me and the little girl, well, I say little girl, she's my little girl, went to the river last weekend, and well, we need better water.
Labs. Abe? Streamlabs.
The one I have for my computer, man, I think I deleted it because I could not figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
We're all
it's more for mobile. It is actually it is made for mobile. You can use it on laptops and stuff, but it is primarily designed for your mobile phone. You've got over 1,000 subs anyway, and you got StreamYard. Yeah, no worries.
Hey, Chipper.
There's a couple of tutorials on YouTube that'll take you through. That's what I did. I couldn't work some of the stuff out, so I went through the tutorial.
Some of this stuff,
I did that with boiling water in my hobo stove when I made a hobo stove and set fire to some wood.
The what do you call it? It's not just the subs now anymore. You've got to have. There's too many people going live and stuff. They were basically slamming YouTube servers, choking it down. Not YouTube. Nobody was making any money. So
ACT
rules again. And I am 100% rock solid against sub for sub. And if what I'm doing doesn't interest you, why subscribe to my channel? Because I mean, I'm subscribed to 396 or 496 people, and I can't watch all their stuff.
50.
And
I'm subbed to 50.
People that say, and I try to. I go in there, and like when I'm on a road trip, I'll go in there, and I'll pick one of them, and I'll just put autoplay and start playing all the videos that I haven't watched in forever. Because I mean, some of them do stuff, really good stuff, but there's only so much stuff. I can't even watch. I'm 2 videos behind on Woodbeard, and he's actually doing the kind of stuff that I really like. It's just, I mean, there's a limited number of days. Hey, Steve, I sent you a link, man. You don't have to join because I forgot to text you. So, but I went in and sent you a link if you want to get up here. So,
yeah, come on, Steve.
Did I hit 5,000 today? A while ago only had 4,996. Did she get you again? You're going to have to get a new dog.
Well, she moved.
Yeah, she's been weirding out.
This one right here. Go away.
Who's that?
Vicky.
Vicky's
Vicky,
mom?
the one that called me earlier today, she's fallen and broken her arm in several places and dislocated her shoulder.
Well, I've got 15-second delay. Good grief.
Then a lady called us earlier my wife earlier to tell us that one of our friends who has 2 of the big D's, don'ts. A big D is a don't.
All right.
For COVID-19, and she's in the hospital in ICU with COVID-19 now. And then the lady that called just fell and is on her way to UMC because she broke her arm and dislocated her shoulder. This third crazy stuff's gonna kill folks. But there was no daycare, so grandma was keeping the kids and in and out and them running around. And anyway, she's not obese, but she could stand to lose 50, 100 pounds. 100 pounds is really harsh. She could stand to lose 50 or 60 pounds. And she's diabetic, and now she's got COVID. And that's of all the research I've done, those are the two that the people, most of the COVID deaths in ICU are from people who are overweight and diabetic. Those are the two ones that it's really hard not to come out of the hospital. All right, of course, the other work. I've said this before. I believe that COVID-19 is a real virus. It's really out there and it's going to kill people. But shutting the world down for it is going to kill a lot more. That's harsh. I mean, that's really, really harsh, but it's true.
Hey,
well, you can't live your life in fear either.
I mean, I've been around death my whole life. My first funeral was at 2.5 years old. That was my dad. Then friends, then a brother, then some more friends, then kids, my kids' friends. Then, I mean, it's people die. I bought do not judge me. I bought a used copy of The Lion King, the live action one or whatever with the real animals. And the critics were way too harsh on that movie. It wasn't as good as the animated one, but the guy playing Simba could sing better in this one, like a lot better. But that whole circle, they taught us the circle of life, or the 5 stages of life in school. Do they even teach that in school anymore?
I don't know.
Hey, what are the 5 stages of life? We're gonna take I'm gonna be Teacher Wes. I should go in and change my name on the screen. Teacher Wes is going to ask Little Johnny, aka Aid, what are the 5 stages of life without cheating and using Google? Hey, I'm gonna have to cheat and use Google. Hold on.
I ain't got a clue.
I'm not sure about number 1.
You're born, you go through life, you die. There you go.
It's a little bit more than that. Well, geez. 5 stages of life. I had to teach my phone to speak Westlandese.
Here's a summary from Quizlet. Terms in this set: infancy, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and old age.
See, they changed it. That's so annoying. Because adolescence is part of childhood. Sorry. See, I should have checked this earlier. The 5 stages of life are birth, which is conception. Birth. Then you grow. Then you're an adult, and that's the reproduction. Then you age, and then you die. They got rid of death and put in adolescence.
Yeah, CT's about right there.
They took out death of the 5 stages of life. Death is the final stage of life. Nobody lives forever. As harsh as that is, if my mom could have got like a new body transplant or something, and they could have cloned her body and she could have been put back in her 30-year-old self or whatever. I'd have been all for it. My mom would have killed all of us. Because there comes a point when you're done. I mean, can you imagine walking around on this earth for 500-800 years? I can't. I'd a whole lot rather get my 60 to 100 years and then take a nap. You know, that's
However,
boring. Taxes, 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 and death and taxes. Yeah, pretty much. Sadie, I'm not talking to you.
well, you'll find out when you get your wage slip.
Mrs. West, it'll be true if Trump has to do an executive order.
Why are you touching me?
But he was talking about since everything didn't get in the package, they couldn't agree on the package, that if he told his interns or whatever to get the package ready, when he comes back, he would sign the executive order if they had not done what they were supposed to do. If that makes sense.
Are you going to go away?
Yeah, I quite like Chipper's take on that.
What's your take? Pretty much, Chipper.
Chipper hasn't figured out.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
pretty nailed
5
that there,
stages of life. Clean fun, dirty fun, paying for dirty fun, hoping dirty fun will pay for your funeral. About it. Sadie, go bug somebody else. I fed you. I petted you. I offered you a bath. You say the same thing every time. I don't want a bath. The only time I'm scared of my dog is when I threaten her with a bath. I honestly think she would fight me for it. Now I can take her to the lake. She'll just run out there and jump in. Anyhow, no, I'm glad I don't live in Lebanon because SHTF happened the other day. The end. 85% of the country's emergency food was destroyed in a blast. Okay. And everyone's like, well, they should have known better than to store that there. They had it stored in a place that stores explosives because the place it was stored was made to store explosives. And I'm not buying an accident. It's possible, but
No, it wasn't an
It does
accident.
amaze me how many people just happen to be having their mobile phones pointing in that direction and filming.
Well, the fire started
that
and they were filming the fire.
30, 40 different angles.
I mean, they were filming the fire, but that's the deal. I mean, there never should have been. They never should have been able to get a fire started in that fireworks factory. I mean, there are so many fail safes in a fireworks factory. It's crazy. Unless you're building them in your garage, and then you're lucky you make it to the 4th of July every year. But
Well, wasn't it a fireworks factory that blew up in Texas here a year or two ago?
I don't know. Uh,
I was pretty sure it was the Black Cat factory.
was it a fireworks factory? Say it again. No, West Texas, that was a fertilizer plant. Uh, that was a couple years ago.
And I know in Oklahoma there was a fireworks factory that blew up and killed like 20 people.
You want me to put you outside? I will put you outside. I'm going to put you on the dog giveaway page. So, no, I'm just going to hold your face. I'm not going to pet you. Nice doggy.
Now I think H&X Media speaks with a Vincent Price accent.
Yeah, Vampire Boy. I don't know, but it could have been an accident.
My
But
gut tells me it wasn't.
to this day, I don't think West Texas was an accident. So, that one
There
you
was
could see the explosion or the cloud lit up on top first. So, and that's not. I'm sorry, that's not the way science works. Something came through that smoke plume. There was a fire at the plant, but when it didn't blow up when it was supposed to because all the fail safes worked, something bad happened. Yes,
When I
ma'am.
saw the smoke, I saw lots of little flashes all over the place, and then a big boom, then a mushroom cloud, and I've watched that in slow motion on the
I've
Daily
watched it.
Mail and on a couple of other social networks I'm on.
I mean, the fireworks were burning and exploding, and honestly, that's all it would take is one of those to bounce over, one of those mortar rounds to bounce over there into that ammonia, and it's going to go bye-bye, especially if it's already been heated up by a fire. So, whether it was an accident or not, it doesn't matter. That's how many millions of people over there in Lebanon that are now probably going to starve.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was at the feed store the other day grabbing some milk replace, or not milk replace, for sweet feed and some hay. And I was standing there, the guy came in and he asked for 1,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate. And at first, I just looked over at him. I thought, oh my God, we got Timothy McVeigh going again.
I didn't get any pudding. I forgot. Well, that's basically, what was that? 4 or 5 Moabs going off at one time. For crying out loud. What they was it 3 kilotons of TNT? You know what they said? Isn't that one of the first stage nuke bombs? Isn't that what they were capable of?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that town is lucky that silo was between it and that ammonia nitrate. I mean, that sounds weird, but if that big concrete structure had not been in the way, there would have been a lot of people taking video that would have died. It couldn't go straight to them. It had to go around that building and back together.
But man, that shockwave was wow.
Well, that's the shock wave across the water, which was the opposite side. It was destroying cars that were going down the road.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. That was
at further
crazy,
distance.
Oh wow.
Really further away, but there was nothing. There was nothing there. There was just the river, or bay, or whatever it is. And y'all help me keep an eye on the basement down here in case somebody else shows up. I don't want to be all rude. You don't think it was? You think they just put ammonium nitrate in a warehouse, just next to a place that makes explosives, just because it was a available warehouse? I mean,
yeah, their health and safety isn't as good as yours or ours, is it really?
Lebanon. If you look at everybody paints Lebanon as this third world backwater country on the news. Lebanon is a first world nation. They have internet. I have played Xbox with guys from Lebanon. Okay. They're a first world nation. The women wear pantsuits and have executive jobs in that country. Lebanon's not like Iraq and Iran. It was like Syria. Being in Syria was not much different than being in Kansas, for crying out loud, before all that other stuff happened.
Did you see the? Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you see the video where the young lady, they had just gotten married and they were doing their wedding pictures?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that hit when she was doing her wedding pictures. I thought, oh my gosh, when that glass blew, the only thing I could think is, oh Lord, did it kill that young lady? And thankfully, during the video, you could see her and the groom walking away, but she was covering herself.
I saw the video, and I admit all I could think about was I hope she bought a veil to go with that gown.
Well, normally pictures are taken after the wedding. So.
I was a bit ugly.
That was horrible.
The weddings I've been to the past few years, there's people taking photographs all the way through. There's cameras out and video cameras out, start to finish.
You used to shoot fruit, Chipper? Why would you shoot fruit? Especially tangerine. I like tangerines. Tangerines are really good. Anyway, what about all the stories that have been squashed all over the place about the fires and explosions everywhere else? I mean, I'm just not big. I can't pull. You see a little pop-up deal on the wire, and then next thing you know, you can't find anything else. There's an explosion at this port. There's an explosion at this port. There's a fire in this building. There's this and this and this. There was a lot that went up in smoke last week. A lot. And all of it was at ports.
Well, I wrote down
a lot of explosions in ports.
I wrote down where they was talking about all the explosions. Of course, the one in Beirut, supposedly Wuhan, the United Arab Emirates, the Hasan, North Korea, Baghdad, and St. Paul, Minnesota.
What blew up in St. Paul, Minnesota?
A port. from what or something like that.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Sure, it wasn't. I think it was probably a moose. The moose ate too
It might
many
have been a
people,
moose, eh?
and it got infected, and then like the gas couldn't get out,
It exploded, eh?
Is Minnesota even part of the United States? Seriously, I mean,
I love to listen to them. I love to listen to them. It's like they're from a foreign country.
okay, dokie, Steve. It's gonna take a minute. I guess I could have just copied it and put it in the deal.
But I'm not sure
This
what
is gonna
was
take
on.
forever.
I'm not sure what was on fire in St. Paul. I want to say it was over by a port, but I don't know. I was just writing down the places.
Places that we're not hearing anything else on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like wherever they got food stored, wherever there's grain, it's like, boom.
And supposedly it was a chemical plant in Wuhan that erupted in fire.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sending it the Corsair Trainers dot, dude. If that's the right one. If not, let me know. Probably. Building under construction downtown. Let me know if you got Corsairs. I had to do a lot of digging to find out about the World Trade Center in Brussels. It's a vacant building. All the offices that were in that building had been moved to Geneva. Go figure.
Hey, Walter.
Did I ever email Abe? I don't know, Abe. I honestly do not know. I'm one of the best people for staying in contact with other individuals that you will ever possibly hope to meet.
Oh, y'all get this. The other day, I did a lot.
In the back of the
other morning.
That I'm supposed to buy, I usually do. Okay, here we go.
That's just like the other morning.
Now the party's gone to Pete.
He said, as soon as the live's over, call me. I did. You didn't answer.
What?
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Aid, how's it going?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Hey,
oh,
Steve.
man. I didn't know he got a haircut. I wouldn't invite him.
Oh, I didn't get a haircut. I had to go get an underground haircut. I had to go in somebody's backyard to get my haircut because all the places are closed here.
Contraband barbershops. Wow.
Oh yeah. So I got a chopped.
Yeah, I gotta cut Rick's tomorrow.
I have clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like going and having it. So otherwise, I'd have just took the clippers to it. So I actually went and got a real haircut. Oh, look, you can see it better now. There you go. Woo! No, I wasn't planning on coming on, or I'd have brushed it or something. I don't know.
That's okay. And that is a ball-faced lie Mrs. West asked. I don't wait till the next day to answer. I verbally answer them when you tell me that I didn't answer them yet.
He didn't even call me the next day.
Okay, that is not my fault.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You just pick the phone up and go hi.
Technically, what I wanted to call her for was for her to call me was something that I wanted to do, but then I did it without her. So I didn't need her anymore. And I was doing that instead of, and I want to take the time to call her away from what I was doing. So that's just me being me. Welcome to the wonderful world of me. I'm an ass. I mean, you can ask my wife.
Go figure.
I guarantee you, my wife will not mind telling you that I'm an ass. So, no, not 100% sure why she hasn't. Who, what, when, where? War without rule. There we go, Timo. What else? Have they done the whole nothing to see here, move along thing? Oh, Seattle and Portland and all them going, acting like they're trying to clean up their streets now after, you know what happened was that Trump went in there, okay, we'll pull our officers out, but if you don't clean this up, there's not going to be any disaster aid. You're going to have to pay for all this damage yourself. So that's why they're doing it. And now the guys are all trying to make it sound like they've been trying to take care of it the whole time. Dude, you let your city burn for 70 days. For 70 days, you let your city burn. If you get reelected, then we just need to build. We need that wall we're building down south. We need to just go up there. We need to build one around your city, and just let y'all deal with it yourself.
Yeah, they were also fixing to send a bunch of more guys up there. So they had to send in the state guys and the local guys. Otherwise, the federal guys were heading that way.
What they need to do is they need to put up some tent jails somewhere. 7-foot cyclone fence, Constantine wire, double rows, old army tents on the inside. And instead of letting the people bail right back out, put them in there and then chain them all together and give them bags and little pinchy sticks and make them go out there and clean up their mess.
Yeah, but that's what they want him to do, so then they can start screaming that he's being a tyrannical, whatever the rest of the words are they use. They're trying to push him to do that stuff. They can say he's being evil.
Well, yeah, that's true. My other option can't do that either. I guess that would be considered evil also. The whole going Viet Cong on them. I need you to get on your knees, sir.
Hell, just let him take it. It was falling apart as it was.
Well, the problem, if we let them, I mean, I guess we could go in and rebuild, but Portland and Seattle are port cities. The people making all the mess and stuff, they ain't even the ones making the money there. Everybody's like, oh, this and this and this. No, dude, it's the ships coming in and out of those ports. It's the stuff coming in and out of the country, or coming in and going out of the country there, that has made your city what it is. Because all these trucks and trains from across the country go to where you're at, and it picks up stuff and drops stuff off. The end. Same with San Francisco. If San Francisco was 200 miles inland, it would have the population of like 200 people. Because
the only good part about it is they showed their asses. They showed what they were about. It wasn't the reason they're hiding behind. They have ulterior motives to all their stuff.
Yeah, is that true? And I can't believe there's so many people out there, young people that are buying into the whole communism thing, communism, socialism, anarchy thing. They really don't know history.
Well, the thing of it is, you look at what they're being taught in schools today. They start them out early. They start them out earlier and earlier every year at a younger and younger age. They get taught what whichever petroleum company or whatever is paying for their textbooks or whatever. They get taught that agenda. They're brainwashed from that age on up. They don't know any better. I'm not trying to be mean, but we've always wanted our kids to have more than what we had when we were growing up, which was stupid, because then they didn't appreciate nothing and they think they're entitled to everything now.
That's the one. And that's literally the biggest problem is it's, and everybody that I know is guilty of this, including myself. You know, we don't want our kids to suffer the peer pressure and stuff. So we do stuff that we know is not right because we don't want our kids to pay for our values. And now we're paying for not wanting our kids to pay. I mean, I was a poor kid growing up. I got bullied a lot for wearing hand-me-downs. So, you know, I tried to make sure that my kids never had to do that. But in retrospect, you know, I turned out okay, other than being an ass. So,
well, me growing up, I always got hand-me-downs, and then after I grew up or grew past the person that was sending me the hand-me-downs, all my clothes came from garage sales.
Garage sale clothes aren't hand-me-downs.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, though.
This wrinkled up shirt that I'm wearing was I bought it at a whatever resale shop. It still had the tag on it from the store it came from. It was an $80 shirt. I paid like $5 for it or something like that. That's just good shopping. Think,
back when you and I were kids, though, Wes, garage sales were actually that they sold used clothes. People didn't go and just buy and stick it in their closet back then.
That's true. I don't know that my mom ever went to a garage sale.
Oh, my mama went every Saturday.
My time I was 12 to the age of 17, the only thing I ever wore from the store were jeans. Everything else was tailor-made to me. So, all my shirts were tailor-made, my jackets, everything. My mom would tailor our clothes for us. I was actually a pretty sharply dressed young man. She just didn't have a sewing machine tough enough to do denim. So, which she did make. My sister, she did make slacks and stuff for them, which was different than us guys. Us guys have to have jeans because we'd get up in the morning and we'd work. We'd go do our 7.5 hours at school, and then I'd get out of school, and I would do anywhere from 2.5 to 4.5 hours in the fields, and then come home, try to do a little homework, catch a nap, go do next day. So, I like the time of the year where shredding was over and you had a couple of months to go before you had to worry about planting. I really like that time of year. There was nothing to do. So, and then summer when everything was just growing, I like that time. And that's how I was running irrigation. running irrigation. You just flipping 98 degrees out there. Your truck doesn't have any AC. You got to go all over the flipping county, 300 acres here, 200 acres there. You got to move pipe. And sounded like a little whiny butt girl right now. Anyway, yeah. Getting attacked by dogs. One of the people that rented one of the old farmhouses adopted a retired police dog. And the landlord said, yeah, it's okay, you can do that. But there was rules. The dog had to be kept in the house on a leash. And if the guy had to leave him outside when he went to work, he was supposed to keep him in a locked kennel. Well, the guy kept ignoring the locked kennel thing. And he wasn't chaining the dog. He was putting the dog on a long lead rope. The dog really didn't like me getting that close to the house. Because apparently the last command that guy gave that dog was to guard. So when I'm walking over there trying to turn the freaking irrigation pump off or on so I can go do what I'm trying to do, the dog would be at the end of the rope. That one day he had chewed the rope and it snapped. And I've got a 110-pound German Shepherd all over me. That ended in gunplay. So. Needless to say, all the humans made it. But so I think I was 14. 14. I was 14 years old, and that's the first time I ever had to look down the barrel of a gun.
The dog had a gun?
His owner did.
Oh.
When I got myself put back together, got all the holes stopped leaking and stuff, we gunned up and we went back because I had to get that pump turned on. I mean, if that cotton died on my watch, I was out of a job. I didn't have any jeans.
Hey, Keith.
Keith.
Anyway, we got back over there and the guy was home and he didn't like the fact that we were aiming at his dog, so he started aiming at us. So we started aiming at him, and it calmed down when the guy noticed that there was blood running down my arm. And I said, "That's from your dog." He said, "My dog was chained up." I said, "When you got home after work, was that dog on the chain, or was he sitting on your porch?" And him and the dog disappeared the next week. So the dog may have had to get out of the vet first, but so I did get a piece of it. And ever since people want to know what I think about guard dogs or whatever like that. If you have a dog that's trained to attack people, that dog is no longer a fur baby or a pet. You've made that dog a weapon. So if you point that weapon at somebody, then if they kill it, they kill it. Don't be pissed off. And,
my dogs are such vicious weapons.
That's the first time any of my dogs have shown aggression to a human being has been the last day on the planet for them. I will not tolerate it. I will not rehome them. Will not do it. Aggressive dogs are
everybody.
Yeah, barking's fine.
Yeah, he just wants to play with everybody. So, but if they come up to the door, he doesn't growl or nothing crazy like that. He just barks at them and then tries to get them to pet him. And he's chased off about half a dozen UPS guys now. It's freaking hilarious.
Well, there was a guy that parked on the side of the road by our house. Blue was out in the yard. At that time, Brittany was what, 14, 15? She was outside. This guy was going to serve divorce papers to my daughter, but Blue didn't know that. Blue just seen a strange man park a car on the side of the road and make a beeline towards my 14-year-old daughter. Blue got in between our daughter and you know that redbud tree that's out in my front yard over by the cabin? He had that guy pinned to that tree. He didn't bite him, but he wasn't letting him move.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. They're supposed to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, my dog, she'll bark, and then she sits down and does the stare thing, and that's enough. And my UPS guy did retire, so I'm having to train a new one. And the first guy that was like doing it, he wasn't real sure. I think he switched routes. He wasn't used to the country. And this guy was standing in the door of his truck holding the package. I walked down and I said, "What's up?" He's like, "That dog okay?" And she's just sitting there, not wagging her tail, just looking at him, waiting for him to get off the truck. And I was like, "Yeah, she's waiting for you to get down so she can come say hello." And as soon as he stepped out of the truck, she started wagging the tail and walked over there and stuck her nose right in his butt. And now he's okay with her.
Well, you know, if that guy would have pulled up in our driveway, Blue would have acted totally different. But the way he pulled up on the side of the road and made a beeline for Brittany, it made Blue think, okay, he's going to get her. So
I'm saying, I do not know how Sadie would react if somebody pulled up and started walking towards my wife. I know she shouldered the grandbabies away from people instead of going for the person she's got between who's pulling up and the grandbaby, and won't let the grandbaby go that direction, whether the grandbaby knows the people or not. I like that, and I did not teach her that. I don't know where she picked that up at.
Well, see, we didn't teach Blue that.
Instincts.
But you've met Blue.
Yeah. He's a Chihuahua, I think.
Yeah. About 160 something pound Chihuahua.
Freaking dog's like, well, his shoulders are higher than my inseam. He's a big dog. I like that. What's the white girl's name? Sam? No. What's her name?
The white dog
the little,
is Bella.
Yeah. Bella. I knew that. I like Bella. Bella's used to stitch on Warhog, but I like her.
Yep, she is.
You don't have I'm going to bark at you at all. Well, she does the woof woof thing, and then you can see it in her ears and her face. Then she's like, "Oh, look, a human. I'm going to go lick them." So, and then she wants to like get all in your stuff and get hair all over you, and it's just. I didn't see what you put. Yeah, I need to watch my tongue on these live streams. A lot of people out there don't get that that whole religious freedom thing. Dogs are not well thought of in the Bible, so I'm not going to call one my fur baby. Just that if y'all want to, that's up to y'all. Now they can be part of the family. We hadn't had a dog yet that was part of the family. It's just which part of the family. I mean, even servants are considered part of the family. So I'm not sure about cats. I don't know if cats are considered part of the family or not. chickens are considered part of the family, like family dinners. Anyway, what's new in California? Man, you got the sunset going on behind you and everything. Look at you.
There you go. Here, hold on. Everybody that hasn't seen a California sunset. There you go. Nothing.
I haven't seen one since I was 12 years old.
I was playing in the garden earlier, and then just getting stuff done around here and hanging out.
Our garden was an epic fail this year. Thinking about planting some black-eyed peas. May make some okra. Made a decent crop of devil's claw. If I'd have planted more of that, I would have made more. That's just something you've got to plant away from the house. God, it stinks.
My puppy got in part of my garden and tore it all up, so some of it's not there anymore.
Have you tried starting any of the what do you call it? Any of the grapevines? Have you tried making your own starts or whatever off of it?
Nah, we were out there picking a bunch of it off today. I got, well, I don't know, five of those big freezer bags full of stuff off them today. And I'm gonna freeze them.
You're supposed to
and try to make jelly again.
If your grapevine it produces well and makes good grapes, you're supposed to be able to take like the new growth, and you're supposed to be able to root it and make a whole new grapevine out of it. I've tried it a couple times. I ain't never had any luck. But I think that because I get this thing started and then I put it in the ground and it died. I don't think my ground is for grapes.
Well, that's how you get it when you first get it. It's just like a big branch sticking out.
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but
I just didn't know if you tried to do any starts or whatever. That's something I want to learn how to do. I want to clone my apricot tree. But that's something I got to do in the spring, I think. My wife thinks I'm silly, but that apricot tree is from an apricot tree that my kids grew up climbing in. My kids literally grew up in that tree.
When we first moved here, we had an apricot tree right there, but it caught some kind of fungus infection, so I had to cut it all down.
Yeah.
I ain't cut the whole piece.
It took me 6 or 8 trees to get one to take. Yeah, Timo, that's what I'm talking about. I just had never been able to make it stick. I can make it make roots. I just can't make it grow.
The second one I got, I did just like the first one and just went to the, whatchamacallit, Home Depot and got it from there.
Yeah, you can buy them, but I've got to get this tree thing down because if we move to a different part of the world, I can't dig that tree up now. And I'd like to take it with me. And I can't take the tree with me, but I can take little trees.
A piece of it.
Have
you tried using honey as a rooting compound?
I use honey for making liquor and sweetening my coffee. Anything else other than like emergency first aid is heresy.
Well, they say you can take honey and dip your branches down in the honey and then plant it, and it will work as a hormone to sprout roots.
Honey. Honey and water and cactus berries.
Yeah, honey goes in coffee.
That's so good.
Yeah, honey.
This is the same jar from last time. I'm not a drunkard. I'm going to kill this when I get out of the stream, though. You ever try to make wine yourself there, any of you people? I mean, it's fun.
Nah, I haven't tried. I'm still trying to figure out how to make jelly out of all of it. Last year, I made like 6 jars were cool. And then the other like 20 I made, they were all liquidy, syrupy, crappy. So I just threw them out.
You don't, it doesn't gel up, right? You've got grape syrup. You don't throw it out. You just
threw it out. I got mad and said, fuck it, and threw it all out.
Well, I should have, when I was inviting you over, I guess I should have clicked that other box about the profanity. But anyway, yeah, I've done this. I started to throw out some of the apricot preserves I did last time because I might have added a little bit too much water. And when I was boiling them down, so they were a little runny. Then it occurred to me it just makes it easier to smear on the toast, and I'm okay with that. So that's my number next. Is I'm going to make some apricot brandy. I got to drink all the other stuff first, or I guess I could just have a big party and say, okay, everybody grab a jar. Let's drink this.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob, you in Colorado?
Hey, Rob.
Colorado.
Good night, Rachel. Or no. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, I wondered why you were at the airport.
For grape juice in a sippy cup, toddler hides it behind the couch for 2 to 3 weeks. And when you have some, oh, well, that could work, actually. You might wind up with vinegar, though. So.
Walter said he made some poison vinegar.
Yeah, hey, there's Mark. I keep forgetting, and Rob's in here now. I goes figure. I start talking about the cactus wine or whatever, and Rob shows up. I still have not took my friend any of the wine, so I feel really bad. Or did I take you the wine and you drank it all? I can't remember now. Maybe I didn't take you any. Maybe I'm just being stingy. Look at people. Everybody's showing up now. DMAC Outdoors. I've still got plenty, Robert. Just have to remind me when I'm headed that way. And I'm glad I texted you that one time, man. I did not know you were out of the country. And I was actually going to head up there. And then I noticed, I checked Instagram, and I was like, well, that'd be a wasted drive. So I guess I could have gone up there and played with the new puppy. Hey, man, I could have got that skillet. Just showed up and there'd have been a what do you call it? A cast iron skillet sitting there, and the steel one would have been gone. What happened? Well, we would have just blamed it on what do you call it? Whatever that one dude effect, Mandela. Yeah, Rob goes to California to go on desert tours, and he doesn't like ask me if I want to go.
Well, I figured when I told him it was an hour between where I was and where he was, that he wasn't going to have me drive down there, because it sounds like a long distance to other people, but for us it ain't.
And see, that's what I don't get. I mean, if you're just like an hour away, that's just, in Texas, that's nothing. That's a drive for a good lunch. So, you know, where I'm from, I mean, we don't give driving an hour a second thought.
Nah.
Literally, it's an hour drive away from one of the places we shop for groceries.
Plus, I guess their schedule was busy doing fun things. Oh, there you go. He just said that.
See, you didn't even tell me you were going into occupied territory, Rob. I could have been praying for your safety and stuff.
Not Walter.
So that your moral integrity would stay true. Not Walter.
Oh, Orange County's not that bad. That's the county that ticks off the governor all the time.
Aren't they all rich folk in Orange County?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But they've been having protests down there against all the other fun things going on. They used to call it the Iron Curtain once you went into Orange County, because that's where all the conservatives lived.
It's hard to. I mean, that's the same thing everywhere. I mean, in Texas, we've got blue zones and we've got red zones and we've got single star zones. Just the way it is.
Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Sash.
We have to drive by the Confederate flag once or twice a month. And then I'm not talking about the battle flag either. I'm talking about the real one, which I actually like. I need to get me one.
Later, creative.
All right, see you.
Hey, Squatch.
Sasquatch sneaking in here. Look at him.
Yeah, Sask's in.
Please tell me y'all were running a swather on that grass, Sasquatch. Not just mowing it down for nothing.
You're not creative.
Creative. All right. I already told him to go. I had a horrible headache. I may and may not have started a small fire in the kitchen yesterday.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, thanks for noticing.
And the day before yesterday, and got a little bit of smoke inhalation. I was trying to multitask. It didn't work. So, anyway, long story short.
Squatch.
So you got a track to scare that hat. Excellent.
Well, I figured I was just messing with you, Squat. Hey, just for the record, man, it's really hard to not to call you by name. The big diesels and stuff. I say big. The big 40 series tractors and stuff. The diesels. A lot of times you can get a rebuilt one for half the price. You can get one of them small 60s. Just saying. It'll do the same thing the small 60 will do, but it's half the price. Actually, it'll do a lot more than the 60 will do. And they you operate them the same way. Just saying, something to look into. I mean, it's something that's a farmer hack. I mean, if you're not worried about air conditioning, I mean, if you're not going to be spending day after day after day after day on it, I mean, if you're not plowing 2,000 acres, you don't need the cab for being a baby. Get a shade on it, get you a jug of sweet tea, and a block of ice. It'll work. That's how I used to do it. That's true. You should see some of the tractors. I don't know how much do they have. Like, what is a big tractor in England? What would be considered like a big tractor?
Good grief! We've got John Deere, Mercedes, Leyland. Like 9,000 cc engines. I couldn't tell you the horsepower. I don't know what that is in inches.
That's a good size
9
tractor,
litre.
Sasquatch.
All the big tractors have cabs.
Well, and I know Biddy probably see them up there too, but down here we have tractors that are running on tracks. They literally have rubber tracks on them,
like tank tracks. Yeah, there's a few like that, but they're on the really large estates. You call them
those
rigs.
things can run sweeps and knives and stuff. I mean, they can run 12, 14 rows at a swat, and they just getting it. Like, how can it run that fast? I mean, they 6 rows wide on a deep busting plow. Jeez. Usually you can plow what's behind the track.
We've got some pretty big tractors over here.
I mean, these things are like D9s, but they're a tractor. And
that's where I am. That's the part. I'm from the East Midlands. That's where I was actually born, in the East Midlands. And there was in the town next to my town when I was growing up, there was a massive John Deere sales room. Not there no more now, of course.
John Deere.
But, yeah, John Deere was pretty popular.
Latest
around our area. Yeah, tractors,
strips cotton,
bobcats, combine harvesters, you name it. Diggers,
cleans cotton, bales cotton, all at the same time. It's a $557,000 piece of equipment. And it literally craps out cotton bales. I think it's cool. I want one. None of the farmers own them. The only people that buy them are professional harvesters. Y'all do. Y'all grow a lot of vegetables in Europe, though, don't you? Eh? Like potatoes and.
Yeah, mashed potatoes, root vegetables, a lot of root vegetables. I don't think, there's actually 30 miles outside of my town, there's some rather large cornfields and things like that. But where I was born, it's all turnips, parsnips, potatoes, stuff like that.
They just, I can't imagine, and I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm from the U.S. I just can't imagine fields of corn in England. I mean,
down south, Devonshire, Cornwall.
Oh, that's right. You told us about that Sasquatch. I grew up watching.
Yeah, Lincolnshire.
Cotton
Loads
and
of rapeseed in
Milo.
Lincolnshire.
Miles
Sugar
and miles
beet.
and miles of cotton.
Yeah, East Anglia is pretty much all farmland.
Up in Oklahoma, they grow a lot of cow shit. I mean, hey.
Yeah, it seems you pretty much step outside the M25, which is the motorway going around London. It's just farmland, all the way down to the south coast.
I've never seen so many fields of baled hay as when I went to Oklahoma. I mean, just hey. Didn't see a square bale in amongst them. I know the round bales are easier to handle and all that like that, but just don't seem right.
Yeah, we used to throw cow pie frisbees.
Did you see? Have you seen those? Who was it that was selling cow pies? They were taking the cow pies and they were dipping them in something like an epoxy and letting them soak, and then they were drying. You could buy a petrified cow patty for your mantle. It was weird.
I read
Somebody got my parents one year.
I think that was in Oklahoma. You could buy those.
Hipsters buy anything, man. They really do.
Someone got one from my parents one year. And they had it fixed to where, you know, the pins like at the bank that's on the chains and all that stuff. It was a cow pile that had the pin deals, and it sat on our fireplace. I was so embarrassed. People come over and there's a big pile of poo on the fireplace.
Well,
you didn't dare do
Minnesota.
it, so my daddy would have a sweat.
What do you call it? You can buy moose plop or whatever. Why would you want to have a moose turd?
Moose poo peelings, lovely.
In Africa, you can buy a house made out of dirt and cow crap. Oh no, wait! They just give you that when you get married. My bad. That's right, Rachel. You went from Alaska to Hawaii. Talk about severe climate change.
Yeah, minus 40 to like 80 degrees straight away, overnight.
Hey, Rachel, what about that? How they're going to shut down that one thing over there in Hawaii that employs all them people? Have you read anything about that in the local paper? The circuit boards for the cheap cell phones and stuff. I just think it's weird that they make that in Hawaii. I've had moose head. I've never had moose drool. Moose head's got a freaking aftertaste, though. I don't like it. So does Molson's, though, really. I don't like Canadian beer. Sorry, guys.
Labatt's, that's Canadian, isn't it? I don't
like Mexican beer either. Don't like Corona. Don't like Dos Equis. Don't like the M one either. Rob will drink Dos Equis. He'll drink anything though, except Budweiser.
I like Budweiser. Budweiser's all right. I prefer malted
I like
beers.
Budweiser Red.
I want to try Old
But when
English.
I drink beer, I don't.
OE. Is it OE
I don't
in
like.
the 40-ounce bottles? Yeah, I want to try that.
Oh,
Malted liquor.
y'all have
Nice,
the big
yeah.
40s over there?
No,
Jeez, man, we got.
don't have that. We don't have them over here. So I want to try that OE in the 40-ounce bottle. Yeah, I want to try
We're gonna
that.
have to get him. If it gets over here, we'll get him a 6-pack of 40s. see if we can make it through too. Oh,
Yeah. I think I
keep
can.
them cold, they're all right.
I think I'll manage a few of those. Cheers. Yeah. English beer is a little bit, I'll say, different to American beer. To be polite.
I drink Texas Bud Sasquatch.
Yeah, OE. Yeah, I want to try it.
Now, there's a lot of beer that I actually like. I like Miller. I like Coors Gold. I like Lone Star. I'll drink Pabst. I'm not really all that into Michelob.
Yeah, I've heard of Lone Star. I've not heard of Shiner Brock.
Shiner Brock, take it or leave it. It's
what's
I don't like
Blue
hoppy
Moon
beer
like?
at all.
I've heard of Blue Moon as well.
Blue Moon is nasty.
Is it bad? Right.
Hey, Clifford.
Hey, Clifford. I like. I guess honestly, I mean, Lone Star is a good beer.
I know what I need to bring over with me: a bottle of Bucks Fast. That's a super fortified wine made by Benedictine monks in Cornwall, and it's classed as a tonic wine, and it's 22%.
Anything you've got to put
Made by
citrus
monks,
in,
so yeah.
citrus and salt to drink is not beer anymore. And anything that tastes like it's got rotten flowers in it isn't beer either, in my opinion. Beer should have, after you've brewed the beer and you're getting ready to bottle it, you should take 1 hops flower and rub the outside of the keg and then burn the hops. It's all the hops the beer needs. Personally.
I've heard of Youngling. Yeah. I've seen that on a Star Wars meme.
Now, they make a honey beer that I like. But you got to be careful with that stuff. That stuff makes my mouth run.
More than it already does?
More, yes, way more than it already does. We could ask my wife's opinion on me and drinking beer, but I'd rather not everybody know it. I'm not allowed to drink beer when my wife is present. Apparently, I become everybody's best friend. And
I've not even heard of that one. I'll try it. Of course I will.
What about you, Steve? What do you drink?
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. Oh, gosh. You ever tried to, you ever thought about maybe trying a real whiskey?
Oh, I got other stuff. Jameson. I got some rum stuff too. What else? Can't remember. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see it. Some other scotch up there. I can't remember what the heck that's called. Yeah, but I stay away from that.
Scotch is a paint remover. I can't, man. The only way I can do scotch is when I'm throwing darts and the song comes on, one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. And
I think that'd be very interesting, Rachel. I have to get you drunk.
You put the scotch, you one bourbon, you do the shot, then the scotch, cube of ice, do the shot, eat the ice, and then you sip the beer.
There's this stuff from Kentucky that gets imported into England, actually straight from America, and it's £750 for a 2-pint bottle. I don't know what it's called though, and that's the cheap stuff. They've got some super vintage stuff that's like £1,200 a bottle.
Corey, if you find some good scotch, I'll drink it. But if you get me to drink scotch that's not good, I'm going to be upset with you.
Teachers, Grouse, Old Par. Yeah, they're probably your best. Ones from Scotland, they're probably your best ones.
Now,
I can't stand Jägermeister.
Something a lot of people are probably going to turn their nose up at. You take a draft Budweiser or Budweiser draft in an ice cold mug, and then you take a shot of root beer flavored schnapps, and you pour that in the beer. That is like the best thing ever.
You guys got Drambuie?
What?
Do you have Drambuie over there? Do you have it's a spirit called Drambuie.
I honestly don't drink that much.
No.
I'm very limited. I'll drink rum every once in a while. I do like Wild Turkey. I like Southern Comfort. I'll drink vodka occasionally. I enjoy tequila entirely too much. Good tequila, good cold tequila. That high-end silver stuff, I can't stand that crap. That's worse than scotch. And I know people that drink silver that won't drink gold for nothing. And I can't stand the silver, but I love the gold. So.
Nah, I stay away from the tequila. That makes me not friendly with other people.
And see, that's
yes, Ash, that's the stuff. Yeah.
I don't get
yes,
mean
Ash,
drunk.
definitely. You sampled a few British beers, I bet. Yeah.
The last thing I need to do is get started drinking around you, Sasquatch.
And me. I'm not had a drink since April. Yeah.
Wind up getting grounded before you ever get over your age.
Hey,
we got a 4-day weekend.
Say that again.
You coming this way?
Yeah.
Are you coming to the States? When?
Well, I should. Well, if it wasn't for this C19, I'd be there. I'd be sat next to Wes right now.
Oh, okay.
But all that's burnt up now though. So back to starting again.
Made a new thingy. I showed 8 already.
It's way cool.
What is that?
Got a 6-mile gun. Goes in the 6-mile holster. Now I just need somebody to carry it around for me because he's a brick. But I'm getting pretty good at this holster making business. Only got 3 more to go and I'm finished. Then I have to order some more leather.
On a Herc. Sash,
what are you doing now, Robert? Did you say yuck on root beer? Man, a root beer float and some pizza ain't nothing better. Matter of fact, 5 or 6 root beer floats and a designated driver. Nothing better than that either. Root beer schnapps is 40 proof, and then you put it in the beer, which raises the, the 12% to like 22% or something like that. It's pretty good. It's pretty stout beer. It's like a real dark, sweet ale.
Yeah, Polish beers are pretty dark and sweet. Yeah. Oh, barley wine. But yeah, gold label. You're talking about gold label, aren't you, Sash? Yeah, that's the stuff.
Barley wine.
Barley wine, mate. Yeah, gold label. That is absolutely rock. It really is.
Applesauce on pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, definitely Alaskan. You know how to, the best way to describe Alaskans, they're Canadians that were too weird to be Canadian. There you go. I like regular root beer floats too, but a root beer float to me is a draft beer in a frozen mug with root beer schnapps in it. It's just good.
Yeah, barley wine. It sits on your stomach, and it goes through. It works through slow. Then you know about it.
Okay. Well, that's the problem with this mead stuff over here. You're drinking it and just sipping along. It's nice and cool and it's refreshing. And then before you know it, you're just having a time talking to everybody about everything and not getting anything coherent out of your mouth. But it's pretty much all alcohol, I guess. Are you going to try a winter garden, Corsair?
Yeah, what that is.
Hi, Beamon.
I'm just going to keep trying to grow stuff, I guess. I don't know like exactly what I should or shouldn't be growing, so we'll figure it out.
Well, what's the low temperature where you're at during the winter?
Oh, it can get down to freezing like 1 or 2 days.
Wow, 2 days. Yeah, just put a blanket over the top of your food, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you have no idea. It's way too.
When does it start cooling off?
November-ish.
Oh wow!
But I don't know. So pretty much grow all year round out here.
Yeah, you could grow three crops a year easy. They do that in.
When did they get to where it's 10 in the 8 in the afternoon?
Hold on, you guys were all over each other. I couldn't understand you.
When does it start staying in the 80s all afternoon?
Oh, like right now?
Where you're at? Well, I mean all day. I mean like where it doesn't get up to be 100 degrees.
Oh, right now.
Seriously?
Yeah.
It was 100 degrees here today.
No, if it gets up around 100, we all start complaining because it's hot.
I'm really starting to hate California now. Anyway, because if the afternoon temperatures stay below like 85 and the nighttime temperatures stay above like 50, you should be able to grow potatoes.
Yeah, no, I can grow potatoes. I didn't do any. I mean, I did some at the beginning of growing right now, but then I'm trying to grow the corn, and then from over at Manifestations of Imagination, he sent me some corn from New Mexico and some beans that I'm trying to grow. So I pulled up a bunch of potatoes, put those in, and then I got some lettuce growing, which I have no idea what the hell to do with. And then I got carrots that I don't know. I'm just waiting to see how big they can get. What else do I got out there? I got cucumbers that I think are dying, and then some squash that can't make up its mind what it wants to do.
That's our squash, same thing all year long. Could not make up its mind what it wanted to do, die or produce. And then it finally voted to die.
Yeah, well, I tried planting this stuff at a new place this year just to see what was different, and I don't think it's getting enough sunlight, so.
Yeah, that's what I've got in the ground. Beaumont, King Edwards. I should be getting them up actually.
And that's, I just don't know that I could handle the humidity in Georgia. I mean,
You'll acclimatize.
I don't want to be acclimatized to humidity. I want to be acclimatized to perfect weather.
You're gonna have to move this way, Wes.
Can't, man. Don't like California. I would like to live in Northern California. The rural part. But
there.
It's like they've got low summer temperatures and relatively mild winters, don't they? Because of the Pacific weather coming through, wind coming through.
Well, it's mild to most folks, I guess, but they get worse weather up there than we get down here. My oldest son lives up that way. He lives right where the redwood trees and all that start. So, I mean, it's real pretty up there. It's way cool up there. But, I mean, you'd fit in up there, Wes. It's full of a bunch of hippies.
Oh, see, always got to be the hippie jokes here. I'm not a hippie. It's like long hair.
And I mean, they actually have like real rivers up there and stuff.
We're back to looking in Arkansas again. Oklahoma, just it's not as affordable. And I'm still, man, that whole Oklahoma being a constitutional carry thing. I read the Oklahoma carry laws. And yeah, you can carry it. Heaven forbid you should ever have to use that thing. Basically, it says you can carry it anywhere you want to, anytime you want to, but it's not telling you that you have the ability to, you are just transporting it. That's it. You're allowed to transport it on your person. It's not constitutional carry. So, I think they being sneaky up there.
Well, I don't know. The cops will tell you, make sure it's loaded and use it if you need to.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. They say that down here too. I had never known anybody to get their permit checked. So I don't know.
Yeah, you need to give up the whole gun stuff and be like we are in California or like Aid is in England and become civilized and use your words instead of guns. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it.
Hey, Blue Healer.
Yeah.
Well, man, I don't know that
criminals ain't going to use their words.
Yeah, just talk to them
I don't know that the words I would use against a criminal are going to de-escalate anything. What were we saying, Abe? Sorry.
Yeah, just talk to the criminals until they get bored of you and go away.
I can't talk that much.
You've seen some of the stuff I've got in my house, so you know. For closed quarters and cupboard.
Billy on them.
That's about it. The dream of owning a rifle with a 10-round magazine. The luxury. Oh, hi, Steve. See what you have in California is absolute luxury to me. A rifle with a 10-round mag. Wow, right? That's awesome. I'm allowed to have a shotgun with a 3-round tube mag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Did you see that? The fear in Steve's eyes just seeing it. It's black and it's got more than 10 rounds in it.
Hey, Wes, you know we can have those too, right? We had Freedom Week out here.
I know that.
For 1 week, a federal judge said that we could have those out here, and they sold like 1 million of them to California that week.
Oh, wow.
So you think of that lovely tax revenue, you know.
Wow. Thanks, Sasquatch. And yes, or I mean, no, Rachel, anybody, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Anybody that thinks that words hurt more than sticks and stones have never truly had their ass beat.
Yeah, Sasquatch. We can't have plastic straws out here. We have to have paper ones.
Can y'all have the stainless steel ones?
Yes, yeah, but you
have to register them, dear.
You can actually buy a stainless steel straw.
Yeah.
With a tapered point on it and a rubberized handle.
I just think it's funny.
I'm like, that's no longer a straw. That's
AIDS got it worse than we do here, but you guys are going to end up just like us.
You get many more Californians over here, we're going to be just as bad.
Oh, it ain't got nothing to do with Californians. Get tired of hearing that shit. If a couple Californians can move to your state and change the whole state, it's full of weak people.
You all live in Austin. You all moved to Austin and turned it blue.
It's 1,000 people a week, so a lot more than a couple. I mean,
still shouldn't matter. There's plenty enough homegrown morons in every other state too.
Well, that's between the people coming from the far west, the far south. We're kind of.
A lot of those people that everybody says are from California, they're not actually from here. A lot of them moved here. They became failures in life, and they moved back to wherever they came from.
The ones we're getting here are from California. They can't even speak the Spanish the other people here speak, man.
Oh, that's because it's different here.
Yeah. We stole Lewis, the guy from the Ponderosa. We stole him from California.
But he's originally from Mexico.
That's where
then moved to California, according to the Texas bucket list. Anyway, when he was interviewing him.
Yeah, his dad was a United States citizen, or actually enjoyed dual citizenship. He told me the story twice so far. His dad enjoyed dual citizenship between the U.S. and Mexico, and actually used to have trouble going back and forth, even though he was a United States citizen. But being a citizen and not being able to speak English made it really hard on him, blah, blah, blah. And Most of the illegals, if they would just learn to speak English before they came over here, nobody ever give them a second glance. But they learn just enough to get hired, and then they never speak it again. And they want to know how they get picked up. Because if you have to learn to speak that to get through school. And if you've got a high school diploma, if you're an American citizen, you've got a high school diploma and you speak English, somebody cheated somewhere. Yeah, right, that's true. There's a lot of weak people. Man, we were talking about that earlier because, I mean, we're busy on our youth. And they just, they didn't have to fight for or work for anything. So they, they don't know the real worth of stuff.
It's actually starting to get a little different here because a lot of the churches and stuff around here are saying they've had enough with all the COVID stuff and everything else. One of the local churches here has been having service, and it actually made the news. And then there's a church down kind of where Rob was at, has been having services too. And there's a whole bunch of people in California saying, yeah, we're done with all this.
Well, I mean, we've got to. I mean, the citizens have got to stand up and say, no, I mean, we're done with, yeah. Because if you actually read the mandates, it says that strongly advised. It's only the local mandates that are offering or threatening to fine people.
Would you guys
hear the federal government? Say again?
It's free money, isn't it?
In Los Angeles, the mayor is going to start shutting off the water and power to places that don't obey his edicts.
People are just trying to make it go off. I mean, I watched a movie on the Civil War, and basically this young man was going, and he thought it was going to be all glorious and stuff. And he got there and he saw the people missing legs and arms and this, that, and everything else. And was watching people get ripped to shreds. And he just wanted to go home after that because he didn't, he didn't know it was going to be like that. And people, I mean, they don't. We could turn this country around without ever firing a shot if we would just all stand up and say, okay, enough is enough.
Hey, Sasquatch, it's not going to matter either way because the way he was wording it, he left himself plenty of wiggle room. So a lot of places around here, they've been renting and having big old parties. And it's a lot of rich folks that are having all these big parties. So he's like, hey, we're going to send a notice, and then we're going to send some people over to tell you to stop it. And then we're going to shut the water and power off, and then they'll just go find another house and do it there.
I've been hearing about these parties over here as well.
Oh, yeah, they're big old parties, but people are, they're driving up in Lamborghinis and stuff. They really don't care.
And that's something can I talk about your job? But
who?
My observations, it's the freaking Republicans that don't want to sign the crap. And they want to know why the Democrats getting all the seats in the Senate and the representatives and all that stuff like that. It's because you people are being stupid. Let me explain to you. I'm going to explain. Okay, this is where it's on the soapbox. Hold on. You got to talk about it. So I got to get ready for this. Because I'm finna get on a soapbox. And I'm going to be talking for a minute. Because this annoys the crap out of me. Cough medicine. L'chaim. If you are going to scream about your First Amendment right and your Second Amendment right and you're all the way up to your 13th Amendment right, but you are not willing to vote or not willing to go out and fill out the freaking census paper, you need to sit down and shut your mouth. With the Bill of Rights comes a series of responsibilities. If you want to be a citizen and enjoy the rights of the country to which you claim citizenship, then you need to do your duty and your responsibility as outlined in the Constitution to support said rights and responsibilities. You can't just say, I'm an American, these are my rights, you need to shut the hell up and leave me alone. No. You're an American. These are your rights and responsibilities. The freaking census is in the Constitution. You're supposed to fill it out. The end. They started the first census in 1780. It's nothing new. They actually started the count as soon as they won their independence. The first complete census was done in 1790. Then again in 1800, 1810, all the way through. Every 10 years since the beginning of the country, they have done the census. The census is designed to find out how many people are here, how many people live in each part, each city, each section, each county, so they can decide how many representatives that area of the country gets in elected office to determine what legislation shall be passed or not passed. So if the only people filling out the census are in the blue zones, they get all the representatives. AOC, that's how she got her job. Fill out the freaking paperwork. It's like 5. You only have to fill out 5 questions. You don't have to tell them, this is my social security number. This is how much money I make. I'm a Republican. My mother was a communist. There's nothing like that on there. It's just, I live here at this address. I'm a United States citizen. I got 4 kids. Bada boom, bada bing, you're done. People annoy me. They're trying to trample my Second Amendment rights. Well, when was the last time you did your civic duty as a citizen of the United States to protect the Amendment rights? By God, I went and bought me another case of ammunition, got me a new optical for my rifle. Stupid people. That's not how it's done. That's how it's ended. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I mean, but am I right or am I wrong? Anybody. It's for crying out loud. Either you're an American or you're not. I mean, hell, either you're Canadian or you're not. Yes, Guam is the United States. They fill out the census over there because then they get freaking representative. Oh shit. They get federal aid. Wow. If it weren't for all the people in Guam filling out their census papers and getting that representative, they would have closed that base a long time ago. Because we don't really need it. So, anyway, yeah.
You can't talk bad about Guam.
Do what?
You can't talk bad about Guam. I like Guam. I spent a year and a half there. Actually, my oldest son was born on Guam.
I want to go to Guam. Just
it's really pretty there,
over there. that was my brother's first duty station when they were in the Navy, and they sent back pick and brought back 8mm films of Guam, and I've wanted to go to Guam ever since.
Oh, it's really cool there. One of these days, I want to try to take my oldest back there to show him where he's born.
Get that Squatch. Yeah. There's that whole, hey, look, the sun came up. Yeah. I watched it do that from the barn and stuff. And then they had to go and invent electric lights for the tractors, so you didn't have to shut down at dark anymore. Which, I don't know. I'm not going to gripe about that because you would rather run the tractor at night in the dark with the lights than in the heat of the day with the sun broiling in. Well, I may come visit you, Sasquatch. I may just rent a car and drive over there one of these days. Yeah, it gets hot.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a PM about what you said earlier on, Sask.
Who did what, when, where?
Sask said something in the side comments a little while ago, and I want to follow up on that.
Are you sending it PM in on what?
I'm going to PM him, and I send him a message.
Hey, look, some new hoochie mama from Instagram wants to send me messages.
Hey, Wes, I'm going to slide out.
She's single and she's looking. All right, man.
I got to go put the little ones down.
Oh,
Not Steve.
all right, man. All right. Oh, we're coming up on 2 hours anyway.
All right, y'all have a good one.
I don't know.
You too, Steve.
All right, you too. Private chat, maybe? Is that where you sent it?
Huh?
Huh? I'm trying to find the question that Aid was wanting to look at. Who asked what? What was the name in the chat?
My name.
Not. I've got nothing.
It says Sasquatch, then there's some words, and then there's my name at the end of it. Mine hasn't got a handle, by the way. This is really cool, by the way.
It's a pretty badass coffee cup. I wish I had one like that.
Yeah, I've got one like that with a handle.
No, mine doesn't have a handle. I have this one, which has a handle, but it's not that one.
Right.
You can make the handles with paracord.
That one is for the car, and the handle gets in the way of the car.
Do you know I actually don't have any paracord in the house at all? Oh, I have one piece on my Bergen. That's it. I don't really use the stuff. I use other things.
But I've seen some. I think it was on Amazon or someplace. They had made some that you slide on your cup with paracord, and you can take it off.
You know what I heard about paracord?
I don't know.
Really good on parachute.
Oh, yeah?
Actual real paracord's white, by the way. Where did you PM me at? Hey.
No, Wes, I need to PM Sasquatch.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Right.
He was so confused.
I was very confused. I was looking all over for it. I was like, I was going to talk to him about that. Yeah, that's what I don't get. People act like they're doing themselves a disservice by filling out the census papers, but yet they've got one of these in their pocket with every location app known to man turned on. They got their Facebook turned on. They've got their Google Maps turned on. They've got, what's the Apple thing or whatever, Siri. They've got her. I mean, they literally have a map of your entire life. They know what time you like to do stuff. They know what videos you like to watch, what news you read, what you like to shop for, your first, second, third, fifth cousin's name. They know all your boyfriends, girlfriends. They have a copy of every text message ever sent. You delete them on your phone. They are not deleted from the server.
Yeah, they're still on your account at the phone company.
When the text messages you sent in T9 back on the flip phone, they still have those. So fill out the freaking paperwork, you moron. Or shut up. You know, you don't have a Second Amendment right if you're not willing to do your duty. That's my personal belief on it. You can't pick and choose what part of the Constitution you're going to stand under. It's either the Constitution, all of it, or none of it. That's why the census questionnaire is as simple as it is, because those are the things that are covered in the Constitution. Those are the things the Constitution says they can ask. And it actually goes further. They could ask a lot more. They could ask where you're employed. They have a right to know.
We do have the same cat. Wow.
Yeah, that's Abby.
Yeah,
She can be a B word.
Yeah, so can mine, yeah.
That's because it's a cat. Anybody in the chat got anything they're just dying to know from these people? Any really deep philosophical questions about anything but the census? I've already done that one. And the Constitution and voting and stuff.
Good night, Mrs. West.
Yeah, and if I'm not going to sit in here and be all like, damn it, when somebody asks me a question. I don't know if y'all can tell that I'm passionate about this or not, but I really am. I mean, for crying out loud. It's not the government that's the problem. If you're doing stuff like that, you're the problem. Because you're not running the government, you're letting the government run you. But anyway, that's
and trust me, people, he will jump your butt. Trust me, I know.
I will. I mean, there's just, some things are acceptable, some things aren't.
He explained to me why it was wrong that I put a government person back in their vehicle.
Thermoelectric semiconductors. Well, they're thermoelectric and they semi-conduct stuff. It's everything you need. That's all I know about them.
But I do have to say, in my defense, on that day, if the guy had got out with a good attitude and said, "Hey, ma'am, you know, blah blah blah, I'm here with so and so. I just need to ask you a couple of questions." Okay, but no, he gets out. What are y'all doing with your property?
Oh well, see, that's the appraisal did. That's totally different. But
and that's when I looked at him and said, "It ain't none of your damn business what I do with that property. Get me, Chuck. Get out of here."
That's a lot of people. They don't realize that those guys have been, if they're out in the field, they may have had their butts jumped for the past 10 houses. I mean, they have people pulled guns on them. I mean, people have aimed firearms at my wife for doing the job her elected officials hired her to do. And they're actually out there trying to cut you slack.
Well, like I said, if he'd have been nicer about it, I probably wouldn't have had an issue, but he got out of the truck like he was Billy Bob Badass. And then
but that's
when he done that, I have to say bitch mode come in on me.
Yeah.
So,
but, I mean, that's, again, you got to realize
sorry.
Go ahead.
Clifford asked the question, yeah, and he said, do you make traps on YouTube? Well, do you mean traps as in trap animals?
I make traps on YouTube, but mostly just for me to step in myself.
Yeah.
I usually use my mouth.
I haven't been out camping this year. Haven't been able to go out at all. That's why all my videos are tabletop.
I've got a fish in the refrigerator in there I need to make for lunch tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I waited too long and it got hot.
I own two traps in my gear.
I want to try to set a rabbit snare with a yo-yo. One of the little fishing deals.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've got to find out if I can do that or not.
It ought to work pretty good.
What I need to do is go back there and set some live traps for the foxes. I got 2 foxes. Found them the other day. May only have 1 left.
Yeah, I own 2 traps. I've got a big massive rat trap and I've got a larger game trap in my gear.
I am serious. The big rat traps are probably the most productive trap I have.
Hi, Sister Kate.
Look who sneaks in here when we're getting ready to leave. Squirrels, rats, birds, rabbits. They don't quite kill the full-grown rabbit though. That's one downside to it.
Hey, Sister Kate.
Yeah, my larger trap will take out a rabbit.
Yeah, good one, C103. You're up awfully late, Sister Kate. You missed it. We were having a big political discussion earlier, and Abe got all passionate.
Yeah, blame it on Abe.
He went crazy. Tried setting a crawdad trap in the last 2 creeks I've been to. Haven't caught a single crawdad. Yeah, we were talking about the people in there griping about their constitutional rights, but nobody wants to do their constitutional duty. It's just annoying to me.
I'll do another show and tell video.
Yeah, Victor rat traps are the bomb. Seriously, I mean, myriad of uses. You can put one on a tree and set it, run a tripwire to the trigger. Somebody walks through the bushes, smack. You're going to hear that trap go off. You're going to know which direction they're coming from. They're going to know they've been made. And they can, like, catch food. Trust me, don't set them around chickens. They'll kill a chicken.
Yeah, God, you know from experience.
Kill a woodpecker.
Did you?
I said they will. A friend of mine told me it did it.
Oh.
Or quails. Or anything that'll eat peanut butter will die on that trap. And apparently everything will. You know, if the bird sees the ants getting the peanut butter, they come down to eat the ants and it goes badly for them.
Oh, no.
My problem is silly foxes won't go in the live traps. Too flipping smart for them. And I don't want to sit up all night. I'm too old for that. And I know. I actually, raccoon is like nectar when it comes to food. It's tastes kind of like venison, only not lean. It's delicious.
I've had barbecued raccoon. It was years ago. That was good.
It's really greasy though.
Yeah, they fixed it on a, I guess you'd call it chopped, because it was all shredded up. They put it on a bun. Gosh, that was awesome.
Oh, they probably roasted it or smoked it and then deboned it, chopped it, barbecued it, and put it out, and then you could do that, I guess.
Oh, it was. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
it was amazing. But they didn't tell me what it was till after I ate it. And I told them, I said, well, give me another one.
Actually, my favorite meat is actually goat. I didn't think I'd ever
nice.
have anything above beef, but I actually prefer the flavor of goat meat to beef. Well, actually, that's not true.
Beef's overrated.
What's that?
I think beef's overrated.
I do too. My favorite meat animal is the aoudad, North African sheep. They're delicious. They're everything beef could be.
I like home raised. I like home raised beef. I don't like the stuff you get in the stores because they're trying to grow the calves off too fast and they're using all that feed with the steroids and all that in it. They just don't taste right. You get a good grass-fed beef.
It's up to me. I cannot stand grass-fed beef. I think it's too lean.
Well, you got to feed them a little bit of grain. But, you want to give them some sweet feed, but you don't want to give them too much.
I would love to go to the feedlot and buy a steer and slaughter it. Because those things, you walk up to them and you poke them, you pull your finger off, it takes a while for the divot to fill in. Suckers are fat. Not the ones that just got there. The ones that just got there are all the grass-fed ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they all starved dead looking. But, I mean, come on. They feed them cornflakes, molasses, and other cereals with just enough fiber in there so they can make a turd. and they don't have.
Same
They
here,
have
Rachel.
eat, drink, sleep, chew cud. That's all they do. Marshmallow, raccoon and marshmallow comment. I hear what do you call it? Fruit Loops are good raccoon bait. Try it.
I haven't found anything that a raccoon won't get, to be honest with you.
Did you ever get
They
you
like
in live trap?
No.
See, here comes mean old Wes again. I'm just gonna come down there and steal all your chickens. You don't even care about them.
Yes, I do. That's why I'm trying to build them the awesome pen.
If you really cared about your animals, you would kill other things.
I've been trying to kill the other things with a gun.
Did you ever get the air conditioning back in the cabin?
Not yet. I got to get what is that stuff called? Shoot. The big line that goes from the meter to the electrical box.
Cable.
Yeah.
I think they call that wire.
Well, it's a big ass wire. Shut up, Wesley. Shut up.
You need a meter drop? Is that what you're talking about?
Huh?
You got to get a meter drop right to it?
Yes.
Okay.
Smarty pants.
Oh,
You better be glad. You better
gonna
be
make me
glad
come?
I love you.
If I come down there to help you get rid of them critters, and you're gonna put me in the barn, I won't go in the barn if I ain't got air conditioning. I can't come down there to get air conditioning back in my barn.
Well, see, you can help me get the air conditioning back in it.
Oh, so I can come down there and help you run the wires.
Yeah.
And stay up all night and shoot your critters for you.
There you go. You got it planned out.
That's like so fair and equitable right there. That's like
I'll feed you.
that sounds like the most bestest plan ever. I guess. Or something.
Well, I'll feed you.
Didn't want to actually come work. I just wanted to come play. Totally different. Totally different animal.
Well, I'll have Rick to get out there and get that hooked
up. Hey, yeah, Robert. She needs you to show her how to hook the wires up to my air conditioning just one time. She'll know how to do it after that. But she wants you to do it for free. Well, for burgers. She wants you to hook it up for burgers.
I'll hook it up for me. Huh?
What was the one that you had?
I've got to dig up that. I've got to dig it up and move it.
Is it getting its own meter again, or are you going to put it on with
No, it's going to be on the meter here at the house.
Do you have enough service for it?
Oh, yeah.
How many amps you got at your house? You got 200?
There's a 200 amp box on there, yeah. But Rick's wanting to put an additional 200 amp box on there.
Well, yeah, but if you've only got 200 amps or 250 amps coming from the pole to your meter, you can't run two 200 amp services off of one 200 amp drop.
Oh, okay.
That's before you had a 200 amp drop on the cabin, run into a meter box, and then you had on your trailer, you had a 200 amp drop run into your trailer. What you're going to have now is one 200 amp drop running two 200 amp services, which is going to put you at an insufficient amount of amps to run both services. Though the cabin shouldn't require 200 amps, it's still going to need 100. And you can up your service, I guess, but I don't know. That would be something for Robert would know more. I'm all wrong. So you can run two 200 amp off a 100 amp drop or 200 amp drop, Robert? Is that what you're saying?
I am in McAllister, Oklahoma, Robert.
Well, he's talking about how far from your pole to the meter box. How far from where your electricity is to where your electricity needs to be?
Probably about
how many feet?
12, probably about 12, 13 feet. Not over 20.
I just, I hate watching the lights dim when the air conditioner come on. It just annoys me. And that's usually the result of insufficient service coming into your house.
Well, mine do that, but it's because I got an insufficient breaker back there.
Mine did it because my service coming in, I got 150 amps coming in, and I need 250.
See, I need Robert. He can tell me how this crap's doing. Wes, give me his phone number, he said.
Yeah, I'll just type it in the chat. Hold on. I'll get it to her, Robert. I mean, she could change it she could up the stuff from the meter and stuff, but I don't like it. I'm not an electrician. I avoid electricity. I don't like it. I don't like electricity and I don't like plumbing.
Well, you know, all the electric that was run in that cabin, I did it.
That's why our phone, we'd plug it in, charge it, and it would go dead.
Oh, you're a cougar.
That cabin slept nice. It was cool. That was actually, that little bedroom was nice and cold.
I'm glad it stayed cool for you. Oh, did I tell you about Bear when we moved the cabin? I had went into the cabin to make sure everything was against the walls that wouldn't tear up, okay? He followed me in the cabin and I didn't know it. So I shut the door and the guy come out here to move it and he loaded that thing up on a trailer that has one of them, you know, where it's kind of like a roll-off.
Yeah.
And the next morning I was hunting bear. Thank God it had cooled down and become a rain shower that night. And I looked at Rick. I said, "Have you seen Bear?" And he goes, "No, babe, I ain't seen him." I said, "I haven't seen him since before we moved the cabin." And we went searching down the roads in case he got ran over. And I looked at Rick when we pulled back in the driveway. I looked at him. I said, "Do you think he's in the cabin?" He goes, "Oh, I think we would have heard him. He would have barked or something." I said, "Oh, well, I'm going to look." I opened up that cabin door. He jumped off the love seat and he goes, like, "Hi, Mom." He had a heck of a ride.
The what seat?
It's like a little couch.
All right.
We call them love seats.
We got a love seat.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a miniature couch is what it is, but we call them love seats because you sit right next to each other. Anyway, he looked at me like, "Hi, Mom," and Rick goes, "Boy, I bet he had a heck of a ride."
I'm glad you found him when you did. That would have been stinky.
Yes.
Little ball of fur and bones.
Brussels is on fire.
No, it's not. Not anymore.
Sister Kate asked something about Beirut explosion.
Fire. The Brussels fire is it took me a while to find that it was actually the building was emptied. All the offices that were in that building had relocated to somewhere else, and they were in the process of renovating it, and the top floor caught on fire in what they're calling a technical room, which would have been a room with servers and mechanicals in it. So nothing to see here. Move along. Kind of do.
Is it only 3.5 hours from you? Well, actually, I live about 25 miles northwest of there in a little town called Scipio. And it's spelled Scipio.
What's this all this here I've been hearing about reservations in Oklahoma then, Betty?
Oh, about the Indian reservation stuff?
Yeah, I've been hearing about that over here.
Oh, well, it's like the tribal. All right, these people, they got in trouble, and they were technically on tribal land, which I understand that law's law, but the state or the town police picked them up instead of the tribal police. And so they're trying to get off and all this stuff on technicalities because they were on tribal land, blah, blah, blah. They want to be judged by the tribal community. Well, these people are sex offenders. They do not want to be tried by the tribal community. They think because it's Indian, they'll get off easy. It's a white man. He may end up being put to death because the Indians do not take kindly to abusing children in any way. And now they've got a bunch of these other cases. They've got a bunch of these other cases coming up saying that, they were on tribal land, that the city couldn't do nothing or the state couldn't do nothing, and they're wanting to go before the Indians. All these white people are going to do is piss the Indians off. And they're going to wish they hadn't.
For the judgment to apply, they have to be from the nations. You have to be a member of one of the nations for that Supreme Court decision to apply to you. What it is the federal court or the federal government never released or never changed the boundaries of the reservation for the court. So it only applies to people of First Nations descent, and it only applies in the court. The guys are trying to keep from going to state jail.
Prison.
They want to go to federal. If you have a choice between doing federal time or state time any criminal out there wants to do federal.
Yep.
You get paroled, the sentences are shorter, you get paroled faster, and you get a lot more cool stuff in jail. You actually have internet access in federal prison, from what I understand.
But what they're wanting to do, is let the Indians decide where they go, whether they go to federal or they go to state.
All it's going to take is for the government to get together and fix that little clerical error, and this is all over with. Now, that'll be from the date they fix it forward. Because you can't pass a law and have it applied to something in the past.
Well, the thing of it is, they went ahead and fixed the legal. The land does belong to the Indians. They went ahead and fixed the reservation thing.
Doesn't belong to the Indians. No. They did not give the land back to the Indians. That you would lose your property, Dana. You would lose ownership of your property. They did not give the property back. It's just a clerical error, which does not, that the state court of Oklahoma doesn't have the right to prosecute Indians in that area because of a clerical error on the part of the federal government. That's all. Ownership of the land did not change. The boundaries of the existing reservations has not changed. The ownership of the land has not changed. Just the legal jurisdiction of the courts. That's it. That's the only thing that changed.
So they just gave them the legal jurisdiction back.
They never took it away. They failed to take it away when they should have. They dropped the ball a few years back. That's all it is. There's nothing. Half the suburbs of Tulsa, all the way over to where you're at, would have instantly gone back to, is it the Choctaw? Would have gone back to the Choctaw Nation. They would have started eviction notices because none of y'all's deeds would have been any good.
Oh, now see, they wouldn't have started an eviction notice on us. Kate's Choctaw. Kate's Choctaw. She has her papers.
Is she on the deed?
No. Because she can be put on it.
You can't do something today to affect the laws of yesterday. At the time of that judgment and stuff, she could have stayed there, but she wouldn't have owned it. I mean, everybody's like, oh, they're giving it back. No, it's just a little oops. That really is. There's nothing to see here. Move along. They didn't do anything but say, okay, if y'all want to fuss and fight and retry these guys and spend your time or whatever, the federal government's going to get with the Choctaw Nation and say, okay, we need you to sign right here. They're going to do it because it saves them the trouble of having to try all these guys that are going outside the nation and doing all this stupid crap.
Well, see, I think Tulsa is Creek Nation. Yeah, Tulsa's Creek Nation.
I'm just saying. I mean, whoever it is,
and they're having to go through Creek Nation to get everything done on that.
That's where that's the only difference. The boundaries of the reservation were moved. The legal description of the jurisdiction was not changed. So it's a loophole, still technical loophole, that the guy's getting out of state jail, going to get retried and wind up in federal prison. That's all he was after. And there's a lot of guys, I can get out of this and go to federal. That's what they want to do, because they can get paroled and back on the street faster, because it'll add to the overcrowding of the federal prisons yet more, thereby lower the amount of time they're going to actually keep you in there, because they need the room for the next guy. So it's nothing major. Y'all continue. I gotta go use you.
Well, I hope they don't let him out sooner, because he raped a 5-year-old child. I think
I looked into that real hard, because that came out right as we were doing that, trying to buy that property. And I was like, oh no, I am not buying property in Oklahoma until I understand 100% how this works. So I spent a solid week looking into it, and there's no real owner. Who, what, when, where?
I did say hi when I saw you in the beginning of the stream.
Federal has no parole? Since when?
I don't know.
I got people get paroled from federal prison all the time. It's hard to get parole from state, but it's easy to get it from federal. I digress. And I think the guy that was doing it, he was a sex offender.
Yep. He raped a 5-year-old child.
They don't have it. Those guys don't have it as bad in there as they used to. I don't have much use for the guys in gray. I wish I could say different, but I'm being on the side of it I'm on now, and having had friends that went to work there, and I mean, they didn't last a year. These were good men and women that it wasn't the prisoners that made them quit. It was the guards. They're trying to clean it up some, but you do not want to be in state prison in Texas. You do not.
I got a nephew in a state prison in Texas. He'll never get out, which is fine with me.
And I got one that my son caught too much time. If we ever hit the lotto, we're going to hire a lawyer, but we didn't have money for a lawyer, so we had to use a public defender, and that public defender got $150,000 whether he went for life or went for a year. He didn't care, or got off. He got paid the same. Nope. What, Robert? Federal doesn't have parole, or you don't want to be in state jail or state prison? Well, state jail might not be too bad. State jail, you get you can make your way to a work crew and get out in real world every day if you want to.
Well, my honest opinion on anybody that does that to a child just needs to be hung.
Well, I try to stay out of that, because I got no use for pedophiles and stuff, but there a lot of things out there. Oh, yeah, Robert. There are a lot of things out there that deserve a lot harsher punishments than they get. And
well,
where
this
do
is
you
what
draw
gets
the line?
me. Well, this is what gets me. Somebody can go out, get drugs on them, whatever. They can get 75 years easy. But you take somebody that rapes a child, they might get 5. And that's wrong. That's like a murderer. They can go out and murder somebody and get a 33-year sentence. Well, they're eligible for parole in 7 years. That's wrong.
I don't know how it works up there in Texas. If you actually kill somebody, you get 5 years. If they can prove that you were thinking about killing somebody or you were doing something stupid that could wind up killing somebody, they give you 25.
Now, see, my nephew, he's in Texas, and he was in on killing somebody, and he got life without parole, which is fine with me. That's Kate's biological dad.
Well, if it's premeditated,
they got him on capital murder.
You want me to say that out loud? All right.
Nice to Kate.
Not Sister Kate.
Sister, hold on. Don't leave. You're going to want to hear this. This is what puts me over a barrel on this. I have a wife that was raped as a child, a very young child. And she does not believe that child rapists should be killed. She thinks that that's up to God, not her. And honestly, it's taken her a lot of years to beat that into my brain, because I used to be pretty adamant the other way. And I still have a hard time wrapping my head around the way she thinks, but she's right. And, it's,
well, my biggest fear is they get out, they go and they do it again. And then they keep getting out and going and doing it again. They're not learning anything.
Well, I know 3 or 4 stories where, they just didn't even make it to court. And the parents didn't go to court. You only hear in a town far, far away, in a land of make-believe, where something might have happened but never really happened. There was a Baptist youth minister that had been working at the same church for close to 20 years. And then there was a 911 call about gunfire at his house. Upon arriving, the sheriff and the highway patrolman found the town football team leaving the scene. They detained them. They went in and checked, handcuffed them, and after some investigation, they determined that it was probably a suicide, and there were no charges filed. Apparently, the man shot himself 6 times with a 12-gauge shotgun.
Dang. He was making sure he done the job right, wasn't he?
He could not deal with the guilt that was represented in the bedroom full of VHS tapes of those young men and their little brothers and sisters doing various things that those young men and their little brothers and sisters should not have been doing. The football team cornered him and told him that if he promised never to do it again, they would leave him alone. And then they found out that their little sisters were going through the same thing. So they shot the shit out of him. And this is something that never happened, didn't occur.
Allegedly.
It allegedly might have occurred somewhere, somewhere. There's no charges. The man committed suicide 6 times, and it's just the way it happened. And the church paid a lot of money. And that was it. I think the kids got probation. They got 6 months probation for leaving the scene of an incident or something, some crap like that. They wrote it off anyway. Yeah. There are ways, I mean, nobody's got a problem with that. Luckily, none of them had their 17th. So, allegedly.
See you, Rachel.
Bye, Rachel.
Anyway, but those kids have got to live with what they did. But that guy wasn't going to stop. So, which side of the fence do you fall on? I mean, do you forgive? Do you allow the Most High to be the one that decides the judgment of the individual? If the opportunity arises for you to protect innocence, do you take it? Are you willing to go do 5 years for voluntary manslaughter to stop the assault on a child?
Yes.
If you're not, but here's the deal, if you're not truly willing to do that, then saying someone should pay that price for what they do to children is not the real reason. If you're not willing to pull the trigger, then there's that. And in that you've become judge, jury, and executioner, then you should be willing to pay for it. There's all these things that go into turning the other cheek, 7 times 70, live by the sword, die by the sword. There's all these things that go into it.
Well,
so
the thing of it is to protect a child.
Really careful.
To protect a child, even if they told me, well, you'd get the death sentence, okay. At least I know I died protecting a child.
Well, a friend of mine, Paul, he did 10 years for raping a 16-year-old girl. He didn't rape the 16-year-old girl. 16-year-old girl showed up to a party, found herself attracted to a 32-year-old man, and seduced him.
Well, the thing of it is,
let me finish my story. Mom found out that her 16-year-old daughter had slept with a 32-year-old guy, and she put him in prison. Now, forever, he has to register as a child sex offender. And by what you're saying, I mean, he's a child sex offender. He should have been put to death. So it's...
All right. This is my deal. When I'm talking about child, I'm talking about a kid that's under the age of 13. Because the others are just juveniles. A child is under the age of 13. But if somebody was actually raping a person, I wouldn't care the age. I would protect them if I seen it.
I don't know. There's
a difference between consensual and, a pissed off mom and somebody actually beating the hell out of somebody and raping them. There's a difference.
Well, 90% of all rapes don't involve violence. The guy goes ahead and the girl just quits fighting, and there's no charges filed. It was still a rape. Most losses in virginity are the result of rape, not the girl jumping the guy's bones. But the sexual relationships between men and women are taught by the behaviors of older men and women. If it's okay, if a guy pats his son on the back for getting his girlfriend, then however, it doesn't matter how the kid got the girl. From then on out, whatever it takes to get the girl is how the kid's going to think. So he may actually commit 7 to 10 rapes before he actually settles down. And the girl won't apply that as rape because her mom said, well, that's the way guys are. And you put yourself in that situation and la, 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 la. It's almost every rape out there is preventable if the adults in those children's lives would just change the way they were acting. This was not supposed to turn into a Bible study, but by God, if you would just open the book and read it, you would realize that 99% of the way we behave is wrong.
Yeah.
We're inherently evil. We're bad things. We're bad people. If I mean, I personally think there should be open season on them, but on true pedophiles, age too late. The young girls, 16, 17, 18 years old, going to that island or whatever, that was wrong. But those girls were all old enough to know better, or they should have known better. They should have known better. They didn't know better. That's not Epstein and them's fault. That's mom and daddy's fault.
But some of them wasn't even that old. Some of them was toddlers.
I haven't heard the toddler story.
Mm-hmm.
What was going over there were young women that were being seduced by a man and a woman. Who's going to let their toddler go to that island? They weren't stealing kids. They were seducing young women and men and taking them over there. I haven't heard any toddlers going over. Now, you can buy a toddler, but that's in Mexico. That's 4 hours that way. Yeah, yeah. Fancy was about yeah. She sold herself off to an older man. She was a little girl. Everybody loves that song. That song's about a child prostitute. But 4 hours that way, you can drive across a river and get anything from 10 on up. And if you know the right guy, you can go to the other side of town and you can buy whatever else. And that's okay over there. They think that's okay down there. But I want a wall. I want a wall really bad. Everybody thinks, oh, they're just people. They're just trying to find a better life. They're trying to escape their daughters and sons being stolen and sold. Taiwan. You can buy an 11-year-old girl for crying out loud. You can't leave the country with her, but you can buy her. This people are always talking about, well, in the apocalypse and this, that, and everything else, I'm gonna shoot everybody that I see wearing orange or white or stripes or whatever because we don't need them. Oh man, people. 80% of the people that should be behind bars are sitting next to you in the pew. They just too afraid of prison to follow through. Without rule of law, anarchy takes over. There's no popo. There's no courts. There's no nothing. There's no rules, or there's nobody to enforce the rules. You're going to see Brother Bubba, his real side. He's no longer going to look at you through them mirrored glasses when you're not looking. He's going to knock you in the back of the head and do what he wants to do. The end. Sissy really likes your truck. You won't let her drive it. She's going to cap your ass and take your truck. So, and it's not because she escaped from the penitentiary. It's just she doesn't have to worry about it anymore. It's the smart ones aren't in jail. And that's just the way it is. That is 3 hours. Good night, Rachel. And I forgot to say anything to Lance. Bye, Lance, and that Jason dude that might have had something to do with it. In case you're there getting jealous of me not talking to you or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. We started a whole conversation, kept the missus awake. So
I'm sorry.
Nah, that's fine. It was a good conversation to have. I mean, I hate a thief, but if I killed everybody that stole from me, it wouldn't be that
nobody
money. And what it technically takes to be a thief, I've been guilty of. So it's you got to be real careful with this is what I think should happen to bad people. I mean, it's just, you've got to be really, really careful with that one. And
that's D103.
Anyway, we're going to get off of here. I'm going to sit over here and shut up. Y'all people can tell them good night.
Night, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Well, they don't want to tell y'all good night very much. thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for spending your evening with usins, talking about everything under the sunsins. Please like, share, subscribe, check out our channels, give us all the views, PayPal us money, sign up for Patreon accounts, buy my merchandise as soon as I get some, and don't forget, I need an O-Light. I'm just joking. Love all you people.
I need a plane ticket. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, he needs a plane ticket. He needs a plane ticket. She needs an electrician, and I need an O-Light. Y'all stay alive.
I need some land.
And she needs some land. So.
Oh, and I need a barn. I need a barn.
And she needs a barn and a milking machine and a chiller.
I need a sugar daddy. That way I don't have to work for jobs.
That way you get your sugar daddy.
I'll get the chiller. I need a set of screwdrivers and a crowbar. And, I'll get that chiller.
I'll just go fishing. Yeah, and no putting out for him? So you want a sugar granddaddy? Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See you guys.